Hey everybody, it's Woo Make Creations here. It's Sherry behind the camera and G in front of it. Y'all know she likes to be the star of the show, so I just go ahead and let her.
Okay, so this, I'm so excited to teach you guys this. This is the Boney Wristlet project, and here are two different finished ones. You can embellish them if you want. They're magnetic, and it's enough to put your phone in there and little
Credit card.
ID, credit cards, whatever.
And put it on your wrist.
Put it on your wrist like this and carry it around.
Really good for when you're on a cruise ship.
Yes, when you don't want to carry a bunch of stuff, but you need to have your lipstick, and which, you know, I never bothered to put on. But anyway, so that's what we're going to make today. So you're going to need two different fabrics. This is going to be my main fabric, and this will be my pocket fabric, just like the sample. Let me get it and put it over here
To show.
So you're going to have this as your main exterior. This is your main lining, your pocket lining, and then your pocket fabric, exterior pocket fabric. So what I'm going to do first is to get this more manageable to cut. What we're going to need is our Boney template, and I like to use the 2x6 ruler. It makes it easy because I'm going to be adding 2 inches to the Boney template to make three of these cuts. So actually I'm going to just going to roughly do this and just cut this. That way I can make it more manageable for me to deal with. So I'm going to cut this. Oh, and I need a piece of Fusible. So I'm just gonna also make this there. And so I can cut all 3 of these things at the same time. So I've got 2 layers of this. Now if you have a directional fabric, make sure that the round part, make sure you're orienting this to be where you're reading it the way it's supposed to be. So we're gonna take our...
That was so clear, G. What in the world are you trying to say?
So, well, when you're looking at your fabric like this, you need to be able to read the words if it's directional. Or if it's a person, a little animated character or something standing there, it needs to be standing upright, not upside down when you're looking at it from this direction. So anyway, so have your piece of fusible fleece and 2 layers of your main fabric, and we will cut this out like this. Now for the Boney, I like to use the 28mm cutter, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my 2x6 ruler to the top of here on one side like this to the flat part, and on the one side, and cut it all the way through like this. Oh, did I open it? Yeah. So I'm gonna cut this all the way up with that 2 inches like that. Pull this away. I can turn this and cut, turn it and cut. And then right here for this side, I'm gonna scoot that ruler back over so I can get that 2 inches added to the top of that Boney. This just makes you not have to buy another template, but still get use out of your Boney.
It has multiple uses.
Multiple uses. And so now I need this straightaway cut. So we'll just cut that. Make sure this is cut right. And there, we've got 2 inches added to our Boney template. Now we're gonna go and fuse this to our Fusible. When you're using Fusible, you want the bumpy side up because that's the part that has the adhesive on it. And we will go and fuse this with an iron, just press it and make it be one piece.
Okay, we're back.
Okay, so for the next couple pieces, you're gonna need to be cutting this Boney template out, but subtracting 3 inches. So I have marked mine because I've made a bunch with a painter's tape, and this is straight across here, 3 inches. This is 3 inches from this edge. And so this straight edge here is what I'm going to be lining up with the straight edge of my fabric. So, well, first I want to make sure that I have a straight edge of my fabric to work with. So let me just...
Which you don't, because I
No,
can see on the mat that it is not.
Yeah, so I'll just get me a straight line here. There. And let me make sure. Okay, my pocket piece, this pocket piece is has a straight edge, and this is where my front pocket's going to be. And then a piece of
that one
Fusible.
is what do you call it? The right side. You
Directional.
Directional. God, that word wasn't coming.
This is directional too, Sherry.
Oh, I thought it was every which way.
Oh, actually,
It is every which way.
every which way. Whatever. Okay, so anyway, you want to have straight edge on both of your fabrics to work with, and make sure that your Fusible is actually, let me get a straight edge on this Fusible, and we'll be rocking and rolling here. This just shows you a little bit of the prep work that you got to do. So, okay, so we got a straight edge here. We got a straight edge here. This is the part that's going to be fused to the Fusible, so I'm just going to go ahead and line it up with that, and then when we cut it...
that ain't directional. That ain't positioned right.
Oh, you're right.
See, I
Good
caught
catch.
you.
See,
Saved
there
you from
is a
yourself.
reason why I keep you around.
Whatever.
See? Okay. So this straight edge is with this straight edge. Okay. And this straight edge will be here too. Okay. Now, you're going to take your Boney that you have marked with some painter's tape 3 inches down from this edge, and you're going to line this straight edge with your straight edge of fabric, right like that. So,
or you could have cut out the whole thing and then cut off 3 inches.
That too, but this, you know how I hate to waste fabric. So there again, I'm going to go ahead and use this and take this off of here. That way I can position myself better to make better cuts. Okay. What? I'm not pushing hard enough, or what?
Well,
today?
you're going through Fusible and other.
Well, that's
pieces
true.
of-
I probably
so
should
you
be
probably
using my other
need
one.
to use some muscle G.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh.
There. Anyway, whatever you got to do to make a good cut. I'm obviously off my game a little bit right now, but I wanted to get this video done for you guys. So now we have these 3 pieces. Now this is your inside lining fabric, pocket lining fabric, and your outside pocket, exterior pocket. So this is going to be fused to the Fusible fleece, and that's number 987 Fusible fleece.
Let me
Pelon 987 Fusible fleece. It says it right here, sure.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're going to go to the iron and iron the parts that are fusible. So that means this pocket piece we just did, because this is going to be a quilted piece, and so is your outside of your bag, the exterior part of your bag, your main fabric, and we'll get that fused on there too. Now they tell you to do this with a dry iron. I have never done it with a dry iron ever, and all my stuff comes out just fine. So using the fusible fleece just makes it easier to quilt, and it's not going to shift around on you as much. You can totally use batting if you'd like. It's a little less expensive for you, and you can use obviously a bunch of scraps. So,
but if you use batting, it does tend to shift a little
bit on you. Or
you can
another
spray
option,
it with 505.
Or you could spray it with 505. Or another option is to quilt your piece with your fabric and your batting, not a whole sandwich, just your fabric and your batting. Quilt that and then cut it out. You could do that as well. So there's options. Okay, so this is our main exterior, our pocket piece, our exterior pocket. This is our lining, our main lining fabric, and this is our pocket lining. Now, the next step will be, we'll go ahead and prepare these with the hardware. Oh, no, we won't. We'll go and quilt these two pieces first.
Okay, we'll be back. Okay, we're back at the sewing machine, and we are going to do some quilting.
I've got my two pieces here.
And G's going to show you how we chain quilt.
Yeah, okay, and so I'm just going to start with a line right here. And then kind of tilt this, and I'm just doing diagonals.
G, are you using black for that too?
Well, that's what I had in there, so yeah. And then you cut your little chain and just keep going. Oh, I probably should, I'm gonna
use your spacer.
Yeah, here's my, if you guys have a Janome machine, or probably all machines probably come with the bar for the walking foot. You can measure from your last line how much you want to be from your last line.
And keep it consistent with everything, yeah.
So
you put that on your line, and then you...
Yeah, and so I'm going to just go...
Let me show them your line. So you're just going to follow along the line.
Yeah, you just watch this stick here and just follow along that line. And now we're going to get this other piece and just keep going like that. We're going to match this.
At least that one will be easier to see.
Yeah, I went a little
So
crooked.
you did it for a reason, huh, G?
Uh-huh.
You did it on purpose.
Yeah, see? And that one veered off a little bit, so whatever. So you just keep going like that on each of your pieces. And
or you could quilt it any kind of way that you want.
yeah, I'm just doing straight line just because.
Just because she wants to take forever for this video. We're not going to sit here and watch you do every line.
Okay, it's okay. You don't have to. But they get the idea of how to chain quilt something.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we'll be back after I've quilted these.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, G.
Okay, so what do I do with my pen? Now we're going to install the hardware on here. You're gonna get these 14 millimeter magnetic clasps. There's a male and a female. Oh, this is magnetic pen. Imagine that. And
it's
then
got metal in it, G.
Oh,
Jesus.
oh my gosh. Okay. These are two 1-inch squares of Pelon Peltex 70 Ultra Firm stabilizer. If you just have a scrap of any kind of stabilizer, that would work. It's just better if you have something that these can be
nestled into.
Yeah. Okay, so in the pattern, you'll see that you have a template to lay on your pieces to find out where the metal goes, the hardware goes. So this is the top of the flap. This says measure this to the top of the flap. So I'm just going to push this up here end to end, and then I'm going to mark right here where my metal goes. See those marks? That's where I'm going to take My little Martelli scissors are perfect for this. And I'm gonna make a little slit, not a big slit, just a little slit. Let's just fold that and make a little slit. See there? Same way here again. Make a little slit. Just so that metal can go through there. And let's see. So obviously this is going to be the back part of the class. Well, help me out here. You see me struggling? Good Lord.
You've been struggling all day. I'm worn out.
Okay, so push these little metal things through your little slits like that. Can you see, Sherry?
Yeah, but you're bending up the fabric, occluding
There.
the view.
There.
Obstructing
Like
the
that.
view.
Oh.
You have to do the...
Yeah, you want to do the little
You didn't mark it.
thing too.
Mark it.
No, just wing it.
But you will be marking that, people.
See, push that in there. Push that in there. This way it won't tear away when you're starting to use this.
See, you should have marked it and cut it right.
I know. I was trying to take the
See?
easier way out.
If you just listen to me, your life will be so much better.
Oh my God. Y'all hear this, what I have to go through? Anyway, there you go. Put that in there, and then you put the like little washer thing, and now bend this back. There's no tools needed. Just bend it with your fingers. And this keeps this stable, because when you open and close your purse, you don't want it to constantly rip your fabric. And here, how about
you do it right this
How about
time?
I just go like this, go like this. How about that? Wasn't that fast?
Genius.
And there we go, like that, and like that. Okay, let's just poke through and make sure we got it. Yep. It is.
See? You done messed it up.
It's okay. So on this one, we can mark it on the front. We're gonna use our template and match this edge to this edge. That's the pocket. And this is where you're gonna mark this one. Here and here. You don't have to do that, but okay. So now we're gonna bend it again and just make little slits. Okay, I don't want the slits to be very big. I don't want there to be much play. But now I'm gonna stick this through the front like this. Slippery little suckers. Okay.
Real life sewing, y'all.
That's what I'm talking about. And I probably didn't cut all the way through because I was trying to be so delicate. There. Push that through.
There.
There, see that?
And
Do
put
that.
the little doohickey there, and then boom.
Yeah, the doohickey. And then this doohickey. And then start to bend it over like that. There we go. How about that?
Now, show
So-
them how the other one will...
Well, this will go on top of here eventually, and then
Oh,
it will
you did it on
snip.
the wrong side.
No, I didn't. This is the inside lining. This will
Oh, duh.
be, yeah, so whatever. Okay,
So-
so we'll be right back to show you the next step.
Peace out. Forgot to tell you this part.
Okay, so this 12 inches of binding is for your handle. Now you can grab any old,
See, that's the handle.
that's the handle here. We're gonna go and do a decorative stitch on that binding just to make it a little bit sturdier, more sturdy.
Sturdier.
Okay, whatever. Here, 12 inches of binding. So it's 2 inches to start with. You fold it in half, and then you fold each piece towards the center and get you a piece of binding like that. We're gonna go stitch this to make it a little sturdier, and then we'll be back.
Okay, this is G, and she is going to just put a decorative stitch on that binding piece.
So you can show them what stitch I'm using.
This is what stitch we use on our binding. And we use the BD foot if you're using a Janome. We're on the M7.
Yeah.
Janome. Well,
Most Janomes have these. Most machines have a decorative stitch, but if you're on a Janome M7, that's exact settings right there that we use to do a decorative stitch on the binding. And I'm going to show you what that's going to look like. So let me put it here under the light. It looks like that now. And while we're here, I'm gonna
Stop, move your hands for a second.
While we're here,
Focusing on this. There, see the binding?
okay, so while we're here, I'm just gonna double it over and just put a, just stitch this down
With a straight stitch.
with a straight stitch, just so it becomes one piece. And I'm just gonna back.
Makes it easier to deal with.
Yeah. So now it's just one little piece. Now my handle's ready. Okay. Now you're going to take your pocket lining piece and put it on top of your quilted pocket piece like this. And just sew this flat edge, 1/4 inch or so, and just make it one piece like that. Next, we're going to take it and flip it over. And we're going to maneuver this to where it's flipped over nice, and we'll press it, and then we'll come back and top stitch it.
Have it folded over and then ironed. You're going to top stitch it all across there. And G uses, this is the setting she uses. She lengthens her stitch, and you can do it to your liking, but this is the one that she uses. Okay, G.
Okay, so now we have top stitched this. We had a mishap with our video, and this part had to be redone. So anyway,
we're using a different
We're
handle.
using a different piece. If you notice Mickey's aren't the same, that's why. So anyway, to film this part, we wanted to show you this. So you want to measure, after you've top stitched this, you want to measure a 1/2 inch down. So remember I marked my 1x6 ruler every 1/2 inch. So we're just gonna put that right there and measure a 1/2 inch down and put our handle right like that. And then it'll be flipped out this way. Okay. You can put a pin or a clip or something in there to hold it in place. But all you're gonna do is take this piece and put it on top of your lining piece. It's already got its hardware in there. And we are going to just baste. We're still using a top stitch length, and so we're just going to baste this together. That way it's one piece. Now when you get there where your handle is, really kind of secure it by back stitching quite a few times, because that's of course going to take a lot of wear and tear. So now we're just going to keep going around. We're just basically making sure that all of these 3 pieces are staying as one, because this is going to get stitched again in a minute. This is just kind of the basting it together and securing your handle in the right place. And you can back stitch it here, but it doesn't matter. It's all getting ready to get sewn in again. So when we come back again, it's going to be a little different. It's back to our original piece.
Okay, show them what you just did,
Okay,
G.
well, let me see. So I just had this whole unit now. Next, I'm going to put this whole thing onto my quilted piece. And I'm going to match this up. Just make sure my handle stays on the inside there. Going to match this up. Now, if you're, make this lay down good. If this feels like it's going to be in your way at all, you can cut this back a little bit just to make sure that your foot won't hit it. As long as it's behind the metal part, that's where
Where it's supposed to
where
be.
it's going to be worn. Okay, so you can pin this or use some clips and just make sure it's all good. Now, when you're sewing this, just make sure that you're catching all 3 layers. You're gonna do it about a 1/4 inch, but first we're gonna leave about a 3.5 inch opening here in the center, okay? So we're gonna come in about 1 inch. We're just gonna make sure we form our corners here, okay? So we're
You'll
gonna
see what she means here in a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna mark this here and half 1, half 2, half 3, half. So I'm coming in 1 inch from either end and making a mark, okay? This means this is 3.5 inches right here, this opening. You wanna form these corners. You're gonna sew here and go all the way around. And so here, you're gonna back tack on both parts of this because that's where you're gonna flip the whole thing right sides out. So we'll start right here.
What stitch are you using?
Oh, I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Good job. You caught me.
Yep.
I'm gonna put it back
I
on.
swear I don't know what you'd do without me.
I know. That's why we're a good team. So we're gonna 1/4 inch sew this all the way around the perimeter, and we're gonna back tack a bunch right here. That way, when we flip it, it's not gonna matter. So right here we go. We're gonna back tack, back tack, back tack. And
She
then
has a different word for this every time, y'all.
because I'm trying not to say backspace.
But that was the funniest thing when you did that. So.
Yeah, it was. Everybody was laughing at my expense. Okay, so here we go. We're going around, and I know that I'm catching all 3 of my layers because they're matched up pretty good. It's not that fiddly, you guys. So. If it's not matching perfect, it'll end up coming out just great. This is a really fast project when you've got all your pieces prepared and you just sit down to sew. Okay, just keep following along your edge. I'm just gonna be sure I'm still matched up over here. Ow, Sherry, you just shot me.
I didn't mean to. I'm just so electrified.
Okay, we're gonna get up here to a 1/4 inch and we're gonna turn and we're gonna backspace, backspace, backspace like that. See? And we're gonna cut it. Gonna clip off this.
Why are you using big old scissors?
I don't know.
Oh, because you're going to cut the edges. That's right. You're going to do the corners.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
I know.
Okay,
I
so
got your
anyway,
back, G.
you can, some people like to make little slits. Well, these wouldn't cut through hot butter right now. I need my other little Martelli scissors. But you can, around corners and stuff, you can make little slits.
Make sure you don't get into that seam line,
Right.
that sew line.
I wonder how Sherry knows that. And anyway,
Real life sewing, y'all.
you
I
could
messed
just
this
make
up a
little
couple
snips
times.
right here if you want. If you don't have to, if you don't want to. The main thing is get rid of this bulk on this corner. Make sure you're not cutting into your sew line there, as Sherry said. Get rid of a little bit of bulk here. Okay. Now you're ready to flip this whole thing inside out. And because we left that 3.5 inches or so,
It's really
it's easy to get this whole project through, and voila, it's coming alive. You will have to take your mommy stick, otherwise known as a knitting needle, and
Gee, put it on the table
okay.
where people can see.
Okay, well, they don't need to really watch me flip it out, do they?
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay. So we're gonna smooth it all out. Now remember, we made our corners. There's a reason why we did that, because it'll be easier to match up and top stitch this whole thing and make it closed up here.
Just fold it in like that.
Fold it in. I like to give it a good press before, like even once I form this, I'm up too far from the camera, huh? I form that, and then I'll hold that in place, and I'll still have a place to stick my needle in to just straighten out this whole thing, because we're gonna top stitch this whole thing. We wanna,
You need to do those bottom ones better.
yep.
So why'd you put the pin in and then mess with it? Why didn't you do that first?
Just watch and learn. Okay? This corner has to be done from the inside, and then it also needs to be done from this pocket side. Make sure it all can
Smooths
lay
out.
flat. And we're gonna go press this, and then we'll be done.
You got to
Well,
top
we'll
stitch
top
and
stitch.
close that thing. And
Whatever. Let's go press this.
by let's go, she means go press this and come back.
Yep.
Peace out. Okay, so now that this is ironed very good.
I'm going to go ahead and hold this in place until I get up here. But I'm going to start right here. I'm going to pull my...
She lengthened her stitch again.
And I
because
changed to my needle position with this VD foot. So that way I could just ride the edge of here and be top stitching. I usually like to put my stitch in a ditch foot and to do top stitching, but I didn't feel like changing it. Okay, so needle down, needle up, pull that bottom thread through, which when you can't see it, I'm used to using the bottom line where you can see. Okay, there it is. So needle back down. This way you can bury these threads and not have a rat's nest on the back of your quilt. Or
you know,
back of
she's
your purse.
obsessed with burying thread, y'all. So you knew it was coming somewhere in this video.
Mm-hmm. Now we're just gonna top stitch along here. We're just gonna make sure we close our opening here. Okay, here we go. Okay, now remember you're going to come onto some thickness here to keep top stitching it all the way around. So
Might want to slow down.
You might
and not
wanna
be a speed demon.
yeah, just
Like somebody is.
I'm going slow. I know when I need to slow down. I don't like it, but your top stitching will show, so you want to make sure that it looks pretty good. And when we get up here close to where we started, we're going to back tack at the end. So here we go. We're going to get back up here and back stitch and knot that off. And we have a finished purse. Wristlet, Boney Wristlet. Great for
She's gonna bury these threads. Her
Yeah.
favorite thing to do.
oh my gosh, it's not that difficult, sure. You just put that needle in there, run that knot down to the bottom, put both threads in the needle, and just send it through the lining, between the lining and the outside. Snip that off. And now we have a beautiful little wristlet.
Hold it up. See how cute. Now, if you want to do some embellishment, you can. And you can do it on the front there. That's a cute.
Yeah, if you wanted to put a little bling here or something, you could. But yeah,
See?
there we go.
Very nice. Okay, it was fun making this tutorial. Well,
And-
some of it was. But we hope that you guys will make lots of Boney Wristlet.
And-
I forget.
Boney wristlet. It's just a Boney wristlet.
We hope that you make lots of Boney Wristlets and post them online so we can see them. They're a fast and easy project. Even I can do it.